Hey friends, so this is going to be a really interesting demo. This bow is kind of not for sale, but it's an oddity. It's marked Lomonal or Luminal, Lomonal. And this is an experimental bow. It was released in the 1940s. A gentleman, I believe by that name, patented this, or his name is now amalgamation of this. It was marketed as better than most, like, I think it was even the, how do you say it, Tourte, the Twort bows. It was supposed to replace all the other things, special patent, all that jazz. They sold for more than the Pernambuco fresheners at the time. But it is a metal bow. It's an alloy, it's hexagonal. It's very rare. The only other one I was able to find is actually in the Met Museum, MET, and the bow is easily caught, as performed by Catherine here. But it's an extremely strong bow too. So anyway, so the only other one we were able to track down that was a 4/4 size was round and had a higher serial number than this one. So this one actually is stamped Boston and a serial number on it. So extreme rarity. So I'm really just putting this out there for education, and there's probably been very few people that have actually held one of these. So I'm about to turn it over to Catherine. The other thing too is we have another professional in-house here that both played this bow, and it was funny to watch them both because the moment they bowed it, it was almost like electricity hit their fingertips, almost like they almost wanted to shake it away from the hand. As far as Catherine will elaborate on the feedback, but it is unlike any other wooden or carbon bow. But here's Catherine, and
So this has been a real treat for me because I thought the only types of bows I would ever play are like, the plastic, carbon fiber, and wood. So this was not on my bingo card, and yet here it is. It is now on my bingo card. It's really cool. It's very pretty looking, and it has, this is going to sound like a strange comment, but I'm just surprised as to, a metal bow having so much flexibility that it has. That might sound kind of, I don't know, unintelligible, but it just, to me, that's just kind of how my brain works. When I think bow, I think flexible material, and, metals are flexible. Some metals aren't flexible, but anyways, these are just my raw thoughts here. What's so interesting about this bow, and now I'm going to do a comparison with my two other bows that I have here, because I have my carbon fiber and my wood bow here with me, and so it would be just an interesting comparison to y'all to hear the three out of the four types of materials in a bow. But this bow, surprisingly, it gets a pretty decent sound out of my instrument. It really projects it. It's loud and it sounds like my violin, and it really pushes the sound out. Because of the material, as you draw the bow, you have to really kind of force it to connect. There's a lot more effort into, connecting with the string and really getting it started, which is just it's so interesting. It feels... Even the spiccato, I have to really push it. You really gotta push the... It's super crispy, which is really awesome. But there's a lot more effort that really goes into it. So let me play a little thing, and then I'm going to compare it with my other bows as kind of an experiment. very distinctive sounds between the three bows, which is so cool. The metal bow, of course, pushes out the most sound, but what I've noticed is that one thing that whenever I play using the bow with my right hand, I feel the vibration of the music through the bow, like through the hair, and it goes up through the frog and it reaches my hand. And I feel that connection to the vibrations. I don't feel that with this bow at all. It's like I'm blind in one eye in a way, which is like really cool, but it's a very strange experience. And you can still play. It doesn't affect the quality of the playing. It's just a sensory thing, which is so interesting. I have medium sensory with my carbon fiber because the vibrations go through the bow and I can feel it, just not as much as my wood bow, because my particular bow resonates very well with my instrument. They're very synergetically connected, and so I feel all of the vibrations in my wood bow. So it's so cool it's so cool to experience this bow because it's just such a different feeling in my right hand, but it really gets a loud sound out of my violin. It's probably the crispiest I've ever played William Tell too, which is so cool. Very crispy bounciness to it. So this is a bow that like it would be really good for like different like techniques. I am a little too nervous to try left hand spiccato with the bow spiccato. I'm a little too nervous to try that because I don't, it's also a very pretty bow and I don't want to potentially chip anything, but it would sound really cool with left hand pizzicato. I'm thinking Paganini 24. It would sound really, really cool and extremely percussive, but it just doesn't quite have what wood bows have. The wood bows really warm up the instrument. It just really gets sound out of my instrument, which is interesting. Extremely percussive. I mean, comparatively to my wood bow. But with my wood bow, it has a more rounded chop sound. It's cool. Just a really cool comparison. I don't think this bow is really for sale, so I can't tell y'all to really come and try it, but if you're ever at the shop and you're just like, hey, I want to try that metal bow, talk to John. But this is a really, really interesting experience to try, and it's so odd but really cool. You can see you played with a metal bow. Yeah.
And to add to the oddity, I don't know if I mentioned, but it weighs in at 54 grams, like flat. Like it's amazingly light. So I don't know if you had
It's like light but heavy. It's so weird. Because this bow, the Nürnberger, that's a fun word to say, Nürnberger. No offense if you have that last name. It's a fun to say. So these both weigh the same. The Nürnberger is 54.6. The Lomonal is 54.8. So it's 0.2 grams off. But this is like, it feels like it's like 3 grams lighter than this one. It's like, even though on a scale they weigh the same, they feel so different. Which is like, it's so cool. It's so cool. It's a phenomenon.
Awesome. Well, thanks for talking us through there. And like literally, it's a piece of history. Patented. It was touted as, the bow that would do away with all the other wood bows. But it sounds like to be cliche, the tried and true wood bows still prevail. So bravo for your demos, Catherine, and online friends. Thank you for listening, and play on.